Good morning, everyone, and happy Wednesday. Happy Hump Day. It looks like a beautiful day outside. The sun is shining, but I think it's going to still be cold today. But yeah, I hope everyone is having a great start to their Wednesday. As you can see, have my niece. I don't know if you have seen her since the last video that I made last year when she was like younger. Her sister is here with her as well, but so, good morning, everyone. Hope everyone is having a great start to their Wednesday. We're going to hop right into today's video. I don't think it's going to be a super long video, but don't want to go ahead and, do my normal ranting that I always do. But yeah, we'll just hop right into the video. So, as always, God is blessing us. He's always going to be blessing us. So, this week, we are talking about worthiness and what that means and how that relates to our wholeness journey. And as I explained on Monday, when I first started looking at this week, looking at the month as a whole and knowing that we were talking about wholeness this month, and then when I came on to week 3 and I'm like, well, worthiness, how does that fit in? But as I started to look into it and pray about it, honestly, God just opened my eyes to how important worthiness or how important this topic is in our wholeness journey, because like I was saying on Monday, a lot of times after you have uncovered broken areas in your life, or after you've realized that you're not, a whole person all in all, you start to question other things about your life too. One of those things happens to be worthiness. So if you're broken in the area, or you realize that you've experienced some trauma, or even if it wasn't you, but remember there could be generational trauma, but if you've realized that there have been some things that have happened to you or happened to your family members in the past or something along those lines, that have caused you to become a broken person, it may cause you to question your worthiness or your value or how much respect that you should receive from other people or even from yourself. So sometimes when we go to the situations that break us or we uncover those broken areas, it may be hard sometimes to find the value in ourselves or the worth in ourselves. But trust me, it's there. Okay? It is there. It's not hidden. It was never not there. That's a double negative. So it was always there. Okay? So God's purpose in and for our lives was intentional. And that does not change. Even the broken areas or even the trauma or the events that we've gone through that have caused us to experience trauma, that in turn have caused us to have some broken area in our lives, even those instances are all intentional and purposeful. And it's our job to, number one, identify the purpose in all of that stuff, and then also not get stuck in that, which we talked about in week 1 and week 2 of this month when we were talking about uncovering our broken areas and then healing and recovering from those broken areas. So understanding that you are not that broken person. So yes, you may have some broken areas, but you are not a broken person. And because you are not a broken person, you have value and you have purpose and you have worth in life. Okay? So how do we find the value in ourselves in the midst of all those broken areas, or even in the midst of our healing process? Because again, once we identify though that we have been broken, or once we identify broken areas in our life, it's our job to now say what now. It's our job to actively seek out healing and recovery so that we don't stay in those broken areas. So what do we do now? Or how do we find value in ourselves amidst all of those things? I have 4 ways that we can do that. Hold on, boo. I have 4 ways that we can do that. I'm sure there are tons of other ways, but I've identified 4 that I think that will work for myself, and hopefully that work for you. First one is finding a relationship with God. And even if you're not a Christian, honestly, this would work. But if you are a Christian, not just finding a relationship with God is not just going to church and then that's it, but it's actively being in a relationship with the Creator. And that's very important, because I'm in this Bible study at my church for young adults, and it's talking about I think it was talking about, one of the the book that we're reading, it was talking about money and currency and value and all that stuff like that. And my sister who's leading the Bible study did this great example, and at the end, I don't want to go through the example just so that it won't be a super long video, but at the end of the example, we identified that the creator is the one who places value on something. So she went over a dollar bill, and we talked about like how we know what the value of a dollar bill is, and all in all, it's because of what the creator states its value is. So understanding that should really highlight the importance of having a relationship with God, because obviously he's our creator, and if we want to know our true value, we have to understand who he is. We have to have a relationship with him. And again, that doesn't mean just going to church on Sunday and then that's it. Like you have to really be purposeful and intentful and focused on that relationship and building that relationship and growing that relationship, just like you would any other relationship. If you were in a relationship, if you were in a relationship with a significant other, or if you were in your friendships or your family members or your coworkers, in order to develop and grow those relationships, you got to put some work in. So the same thing goes with having a relationship with God. So that's number one. The second thing is knowing your truth, okay, or knowing the truth that God gave us. And that is that you have value. The simple truth is you have value. There are other truths that are specific to you, I'm sure, and that are specific to me, but the basic truth for this video, at least, is that you have value. You have worth. You were not just put on here to experience trauma, to be a broken person, and then that's just it. No, your worth is so much more than the experiences that you have been through. You probably had to go through those experiences in order to develop yourself more, but you have worth. Okay, so know your truth, know your good truth. The third one, and of course, we probably will never go by, like there will probably never be a month where we don't talk about purpose, because the third one is to be purposeful. Okay, purposeful on everything you do. And yes, that is understanding and knowing what your purpose is, and then working to achieve that purpose every single day. And I won't go too far into that third one, because I dedicated a whole month to purpose, so go back and watch. And then the last one is actively seeking and working on your healing, which we talked about last week with our focus being healing. But yes, actively seeking and working on your healing. And that's extremely important, because I feel like if you continue to stay in that broken place, you'll never know how much you're worth. Why? Because you're always looking at yourself as a broken person. And again, we are not broken people, okay? We are striving towards wholeness and the person that God created us to be. So we cannot stay stuck in that broken area, which means we have to actively and intently and every day work on our healing, okay? So those are different, those are just different things that I came up with that are going to help me. Hopefully they help you as well. If you have some more, of course, just send me a quick note, write in the comments, shoot me a message, anything like that. But yes, so yeah, on Friday we'll talk more about worth and how that really plays into our wholeness journey. So I'm really, really excited about that. So hope everyone has a great rest of their Wednesday and a fabulous Thursday, and I'll talk to you guys again on Friday.